in regards to any matter considering such closed or executive meeting or session, then the final decision to be, or the final vote should be either in the open meeting covered by the notice upon the reconvening of the public meeting or a subsequent meeting of the Willacy County Commissioners Court upon notice thereof that the county shall determine. So with that, calling this meeting to order, Madam Chief Deputy Clerk, you establish a quorum, please.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Precinct 1.
Present.
Commissioner Precinct 2.
Present.
Commissioner Precinct 3.
Present.
Commissioner Precinct 4.
Present.
Iowa County Judge.
Present.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for the resolution.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Dear God, as we gather for this meeting, may you shower your blessings upon each of us. Prepare our hearts for the things that will be discussed. Help us be a blessing in the way we speak and act. Let everything we discuss here be in alignment with the best interest for this county. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated.
Public comments.
Oh, public comment, I'm sorry. Let's keep that one. Public comments, anybody? All right, we'll go to the floor of claims.
Approved, Judge.
I have a motion by Commissioner Garcia to approve the claims. Can I entertain a second?
One second.
Second by Commissioner La Paz. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Line item number 6, per the minutes, Commissioner Ernesto Ernie Garcia, Precinct 4, has successfully completed the required 16 hours for the 2024 County Commissioners Continuing Education requirements. That is for spread of the minutes. Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Very good. No comments and glitches. Then we move to line item number 7. Discussion action to amend and update changes to the regional public defender contracts between Willacy County and the Texas Rio Grande Public Defender. Commissioners, on this one, as you know, just in a nutshell, this is a grant that we've been applying for the past, I don't know, decade or so. And so this year, what we agreed to was to have that agreement in place for the next 6 months, effective October 1, instead of the full year, with the understanding that we're gonna convert from Rio Grande Valley Texas Defender Program or agency to utilizing attorneys. And so it's a program we're putting in place, but there was some changes made having to do with us just having it for the 6 months. So the idea, just in a nutshell, just so you know, is what when we budgeted for this is that we're gonna have the indigent defense program or the Texas legal aid disengage with not taking new cases, and in turn, through the program that Ms. Guajardo is bringing, and we'll have it on the next line item. We're trying to make it as smooth of a transition as possible. Moreover, is that the idea and objective is for cases to pile up because of this change. So I think we have a good plan in place with the leadership of District Judge Cordova, and so this is what this grant is about. It's not a new grant; we're just having it for 6 months instead of a year. We did meet as recent as last week with them, the District Judge, and others, and so that's what this is before you, is that agreement.
So it's for 6 months?
Because there's cases that they represent the defendant, that in our opinion, it would be best if they see it all the way through or see those cases all the way through.
So move to approve, Judge?
I have a motion by Commissioner De La Paz, can I entertain a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garcia, any more discussion?
The cost is on here, right?
The cost, is
It's
on there is 90, our share is 92 or 93,000, I'm just recollecting from the budget workshop that we had, Commissioner, and it is in the budget. There is not any other questions. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign, motion carries. Line item number 8, discussion and approval of proclamation to recognize October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and to place purple ribbons on trees in Willacy County Courthouse lawn if required. We have, Ms. Hinojosa had assured me that somebody would be here for that, so with your permission, Commissioners, if they do come in, we'll just come back up to it.
So we do every year.
Yeah, we
We'll
will.
go ahead and approve it.
Right.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Figueroa to approve it,
Second.
second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign, motion carries.
I
Line
think they're
item,
walking in as we speak.
yes. We just approved your line item.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
We saw we're number 8. You want us to still read it?
Yes.
Okay, let me get that. Oh my goodness, my apologies. Did you want to come read it? Okay. I was like, we have time. I'm embarrassing, and it would be through Zoom, right? So good morning.
Good morning.
So of course, we're here with the Victim Assistance Unit to present the proclamation for October 2024, declaring it as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So, Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity, security, and humanity due to systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economical control. Domestic violence extends to the abuse of children and the elderly, and whereas 1 in 3 Texans will experience domestic violence in their lifetime, and whereas 216 Texans were killed by their intimate partners across 64 counties in 2022, and Texas ranked 12th in the United States for domestic violence. And whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cut across all economic, racial, and societal barriers and are supported by societal and indifferences. And whereas the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole, here in the community, throughout the United States and the world. And whereas the Willacy County District Attorney's Office and Family Crisis Center, in collaboration with other local groups and law enforcement agencies, are working to educate the public about the resources available for victims of domestic violence. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Willacy County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims the month of October 2024 to be the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In addition, we call upon all citizens to participate in scheduled activities and programs to work toward eradicating domestic violence, improving victim safety, and holding perpetrators of domestic violence accountable for their actions against individual victims and our society as a whole. So thank you for approving it, even though we weren't here, which goes to show, right, like how
passionate you are as well as us to raise the awareness for the domestic violence. So we thank you for approving it, even though we weren't here yet. But I do want to let you know, we will be having a silent walk on Friday, October 4th, like we did, every year, to continue that raising awareness. And it will be around the courthouse. So that day will also be Wear Purple Day. So we'll send out the emails shortly this afternoon so that everybody is aware. So we welcome y'all to come and walk with us. That'll be from 12 to 1. And then from 1 to 3, we will be at the Rainville Police Department Community Center. The advocates will be there. It'll be together with Family Crisis Center. And then Willacy County Sheriff's Office, their victim liaison, and then of course the Rainville Police Department victim liaison as well. So if anybody has any questions regarding, where they may be a victim or they just have general questions, we will be there for the public. Okay, so thank you, like I said, in advance, and like I said, it just shows your passion that you have, for continuing to raise awareness. And since you already approved it, right?
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for all that you do. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Line item number 9 is discussion approval of care coordination agreement between Tropical Texas Behavioral Health, TTVH, and Willacy County Sheriff's Office. Commissioners, what this is, and I got with Ms. Hermosa this morning, she's the one that brought it to Commissioner's Court. But this is an agreement that previously the sheriff and Texas Behavioral Health, the sheriff had signed that agreement before, but what it is this enables the county through the sheriff's office to be able to get reimbursed for medication on inmates that need that have mental health issues, and it's on a reimbursement process. So without this agreement, they do need to qualify, meaning they do need to be diagnosed as incompetent, right? First of all, as one of the qualifications, and then ultimately is that once they go for treatment, and I believe even before, so they go and they get treatment elsewhere in Texas, well, we're able to submit for reimbursement for the medications that qualify while they were in the county jail, whether it's before they went for treatment or after they came back, and still had to be going through the judicial process in court. So the bottom line is this is a grant, and it's fairly new as well. That's what Ms. Hinojosa had mentioned to me. So I think it's a good thing. I think that this gives us the opportunity to submit for reimbursement.
You say reimbursement, so what's the cost related to this? Do you know?
The cost, no, there's no cost. It's totally and strictly reimbursement, because we're having to pay for those first.
You already have to pay it.
We don't have a choice. Now, so what she's asking also is that we acknowledge that in that agreement, it's gonna require the sheriff's signature and the county judge's signature, and of course their signature as well.
Okay.
So move to approve, Judge?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner La Paz, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign, motion carries. Line item number 10, discussion and action to consider approving Indigent Defense Director Agreement for Willacy County effective October 1, 2024. We do have Ms. Priscilla Guajardo. We, Commissioners, just so we recollect that we also had approved and budgeted for this position as well. It's on a contract basis. Go ahead.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. It's a pleasure and honor to be present today. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting y'all, but I look forward to in the future. future. And so I currently serve as the Indigent Defense Director for Cameron County Pretrial Services. I've been a part of the Cameron County family for the last 15 years. I served as the Cameron County Court Administrator 14 years for Judge David Sanchez, which was a newly created court in 2009. And I created the first divert court in Cameron County alongside Judge Sanchez, which was the Cameron County Veterans Court as a specialty court. And so I then became a mom, and the opportunity to become director of Cameron County Indigent Defense came up, and so I thought I'd give it a shot. I applied and I was selected out of 46 applicants, and I'm happy to say that I have saved Cameron County millions of dollars because of the policies that I have implemented that are in compliance with the Texas Indigent Defense Commission. Cameron County was on the verge of losing funding because of the findings in the audit, and since then we are in compliance. We've come a long way. I also brought in revenue to Cameron County because we are in compliance with our bond status. We also post bonds, and we are now supervising individuals who are posting bond as a result of high-profile cases such as murder, aggravated sexual assault. And so we are bringing in revenue by collecting monitoring fees, and we are at the same time encouraging and guiding them for rehabilitation and reducing, jail population recidivism. So I, have a track history of authoring several grants and getting funded. I have written over 5 grants. I brought in over $5-6 million in funding in Cameron County. So I hope that you all give me this opportunity to lead Willacy County in the right direction and create all the proper policies and documents so that we can have more protocols in place when it comes to screening individuals, not basically just handing them an attorney, because people think, there's a free attorney. Everybody is aware that yes, while they have the right to have a court-appointed attorney, they think, well, the county has a lot of money. I will just, tell them I'm unemployed and that I receive government assistance, and I will go ahead and just be handed, provided with a free lawyer. And so I'm hoping that we can create the policy so that we can screen everybody and have them provide the financial documentation to see if they are eligible, rather than just accepting everybody. Of course, yes, with the income thresholds, that are required by the federal government, but there's a lot, that we can do here for Willacy, and at the same time, so that we can bring in revenue for the growth of Willacy County.
You would be working with district judge and county court judge as well.
That is correct. And so the way we currently do things in Cameron, I have 11 employees on my team, and so we have an employee assigned to every court or multiple courts, and then we have somebody who handles the county jail and the municipalities. We're there to screen individuals upon them getting arrested within 24 48 hours. At the time of appointment, we reach out to all the attorneys. We make sure they're in compliance and that they are meeting with their clients in a timely manner. We also, remind them of their court dates so that we don't have people, who just miss out, or where we have a high number of cases issued. And so we are always, in direct contact with these attorneys so we can make sure that they're in compliance.
So you come with any problem that Judge Cordova brought in?
Yes, Commissioner. This is one that I made a comment in budget workshops, is that I feel relieved that we're not trying something that is new. Well, it's new to us, but where I get comfort is that it's actually working already in Cameron County now. Having said that, Cameron County is different, right? So not to say that we won't have bumps, but the overall effort, I think it's a good one to head that direction. And yes, you're correct. It's under the leadership of Judge.
So the money that we budget in the workshop for her salary, that's part of the funding we budget?
Yes.
Part of that salary?
Yes. It is. It's $25,000 and it's on a contract basis. It's a number, yes.
And you said you wrote grants, correct?
Yes.
So do you tap into money from the grants as well or no?
No, I
No.
don't receive any monies from the grants at this time, no.
Oh, okay.
I did, when I was, an administrator for Judge Sanchez, for the specialty court, because the county didn't have funding to, so that they could employ, an
Right.
additional position, and so at that point I did. But right now I am not receiving, myself personally, no grant funds.
Okay. No, that's fine. Well, good. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much. I look forward to working with everybody. I look forward to, discussing, any projects with you, any grants, anything we can do so that, we can, bring more revenue into Willacy County, and most importantly, reduce jail population and crime,
Right.
within this county.
Right. Okay. Oh, very good.
So move to approve, Judge?
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Rojas, second by Commissioner Tejeda. Any more discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank
Thank you so much.
May I be excused?
Yes, good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's the judicial side. Line item number 11, a discussion item to approve proclamation recognizing Willacy County as an age-friendly community. Action required. I think we have representatives. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Judge and the county commissioners. We are very glad that the county is considering to give a proclamation on age-friendly community. So, on behalf of School of Social Work, I am a professor at UTRGV School of Social Work, and I have received a grant from the School of Social Work to engage the community on age friendliness, and the age friendly RGV initiative has been designed to promote age friendly environment in the region. And I'm approaching different counties in the region to come up with a proclamation, and also approaching cities in the Rio Grande Valley region to make similar proclamation. What this proclamation means is to promote age-friendly environment in their own city or county. So we are seeking your help in promoting age-friendly environment. So what age-friendly environment means is it is to foster and facilitate age-friendly RGV, to provide an environment that respects values, cares, engages, and includes older adults in every sphere of community life. And through inclusive infrastructure, policies, workplaces, health, and social services. So it means, a basic question is asked when you are making the policies or developing infrastructure or facilities for the county. So something that you are creating, is it friendly for the older people? Can they use it? Can we make it more friendly? So these are the questions that would make age-friendly environment. And this is a part of international and national network. In 2005, WHO, World Health Organization, has come up with a concept of age-friendly framework and a philosophy how the cities and communities can embrace this concept and foster environment so that they can live in the environments, because it's a very challenging environment for the people those who are aging, and as they age, their capacities will be limited, but their participation always gets limited. So we don't want that to happen, and let them live as much as they can, as actively as possible. That's the whole approach behind it. And in the USA also, there is a network that has been formed. AARP has been working within several communities, and but it has not reached Rio Grande Valley. Of course, long time ago, Brownsville is the one city which has proclaimed, but not many other cities. Now, in the recent round, as I started working with cities, 5 cities have come up with the proclamation. City of McAllen, City of Edinburgh, Mission, Ford, and Harlingen. They have already given a proclamation about age-friendly city. I'll be approaching city of Raymondville as well for the similar proclamation, but I have approached the county to do that so that it will become easy for me to approach individual cities. And also I would like to request the county to consider about having some sort of a committee, aging committee, so that, standing committee that can guide the county to, on the policies relating to aging and elderly people. We are willing to work with the county and your committee and cities to provide our support and expertise so that you can formulate better policies and meet the needs of the older adults. So we are here to assist and help you in moving forward in this agenda. So thank you for considering it, and then we really appreciate it. If there are any questions, I'll be able to answer.
And my understanding is that you also got support from the Rio Grande Valley Development Council.
Yes, we are working in collaboration with the Rio Grande Valley Development Council. Yesterday I was there and I briefed them about what is the current state of this initiative, and they are very supportive of it.
Yeah.
Area Agency on Aging is a partner in this effort. So we are trying to partner with as many agencies as possible at a community level. So we are conducting a study, already collected data from multiple cities, but we want to reach out to individual county and even possible have some sort of focus group in each precinct commissioner's area, represented area, so that we have some data pertaining to your own precinct or area, so that that can be looked at and see what needs out there and how you can address those needs. So we will be sharing those results at a roundtable. We are planning March 6th or 7th, early part of March. So we'll be inviting you, your county and other counties to come and listen to our presentation, because some of the data will come from your own area.
Okay. Yeah, I know that this was before COVID, is that I know that in general, Willacy County, for instance, adult daycare centers, I don't know how many we had at one time, but it was considerable in comparison to other areas. So I think if there's a study to be done in those fronts, I think that that's going to be the findings. I don't know what has changed or if it has changed, but we were up there as far as having senior citizens or that age group here in Willacy County.
Yeah, while looking at implementing that study here, we can reach out to some of these facilities and then collect the data as well. So we can do it specifically for you. If you have any questions, we can add them and then look at it, and we can carve out the data for your county and then share those results with you.
So this is in support of, we're kind of supporting the efforts to cities in particular. Yes, it's in the draft. Are you going to read the proclamation, or you just want to approve it?
We would like you to approve it, and then if you can read the proclamation, it's one of your staff.
I'll let you have that privilege.
Okay.
So move to approve, Judge?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner De La Paz, second by Commissioner Tijerina. Go ahead and read it, and we'll vote on it.
We have a copy of
This will be,
There you go, sir.
there you go.
oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
yeah, the proclamation recognizing Willacy County as an age-friendly community. Whereas Willacy County is committed to enhancing the quality of life for residents of all ages, including a significant proportion of older adults who contribute to the delivery and vitality and character of our community. And whereas the age-friendly RGV initiative directed by Dr. Sudarshan Pasupuleti, professor of the UT RGV School of Social Work, promotes active aging by optimizing opportunities for older adults to be healthy, active, and secure in their living environments. And whereas the initiative aims to improve living and recreational spaces, community support, and health services not only for older adults but also for children, younger adults, and families, thereby reducing stress and fostering healthier communities overall. And whereas through a pilot grant, Dr. Pasupuleti and his team are engaged in conducting a study of age-friendly environments in Willacy County using the framework developed by the World Health Organization with a focus on readiness and willingness to adopt age-friendly principles. And whereas an age-friendly community fosters inclusive infrastructure, policies, services that enhance accessibility and inclusivity for people of all ages and abilities, promoting healthy, active living in safe and secure environments. And whereas the results of the pilot study will be presented at a roundtable on age-friendly Rio Grande Valley event to be held in the first week of March 2025. And whereas Willacy County encourages ongoing collaboration among cities, communities, government agencies, businesses, and community organizations to continue developing and implementing age-friendly policies and programs. And whereas Willacy County invites its residents to participate actively in shaping the future of our community, ensuring that the needs of older adults are considered in all aspects of our community planning and development. Now, therefore, it is proclaimed that the Willacy County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes its community as age-friendly and commits to fostering an inclusive environment that enables residents of all ages to participate fully in community life. Approved on this 26th day of September 2024.
Thank you. So, if there are any questions or comments, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 12, designated to stop loss insurance coverage of Willacy County self-insured insurance. Fiscal year 2024-2025 provided by 180 intermediary. Action required, commissioners, what this is a recommendation that we increase the coverage to lower the premiums on the stop loss in our self-insured health insurance program. This was entertained last year. We decided to recommend to hold off another year to see how this year was going to turn out. It turned out good enough, well enough that I feel confident that we take this step. We are in essence lowering our premiums in the stop loss insurance coverage, which is a vital component of our self-insured health insurance program. Well, I'm recommending that we
Move to approve it.
have a motion by Commissioner Rivera. Entertain a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rivera. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 13. Discuss considering select grant work Inc. to administer project delivery management services to complete project implementation and approve resolution for the 2025-2026 Texas Community Development Block Grant Program of the Texas Department of Agriculture TDA resolution included action required.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So yes, the projects were scored by our committee successfully. and we abided by all the guidelines of the procurement process. And so, the high score determined for Brightworks. The committee consisted of, it was a commissioner, one county commissioner, a staff member from the auditor's office, and also from our code inspection. Since he also deals a lot with the housing projects. So that's what we have before you today.
And how many applied?
We had 3 applicants.
3 applicants.
We had 3 applicants, but yes, Brightworks was selected.
Who were the other 3 applicants?
We had 1 applicant from, there were 2 local. I apologize, I can get that for you. I can just.
Mr. Romer.
Right, but I want the name of the business for the record, so I can go ahead and get that for you. I do, if you give me the opportunity, I thought I had it in my file, but I do not. So they were, what we tried to do is that we tried to email like every procurement more than 10 recipients via email. And it's also posted or published or advertised in the local paper. But we do try to go with, as required, people that are here from closest to our region. Unfortunately, we don't have a big selection, right? And we do also abide by the Davis-Bacon law, which is also very stringent with federal funding.
What were the scoring criteria?
The scoring criteria is, as in every other project that we scored, it's up to 100 points from each category. You look at the qualifications, the cost analysis is not included in this one, of course, right? Because you're just selecting the grant administrator and manager. But again, I do apologize. Thank you so much.
I'm just saying, like every other, same thing.
I just heard it, that's why I was
Huh?
curious. I didn't hear anything about this, I was just kind of curious about it.
So in the scoring, Commissioner Garcia for TDA, Texas CDBG suggested scoring. You have experience of the firm up to the maximum of 30 points. You have prior work performance up to the maximum of 30 points. You have capacity to perform up to 20 points. And then you have the proposed cost up to 20 points. The total score 100.
Thank you.
And I do have the scoring sheets here. Everything's available for your review. But I do apologize that wasn't included in the packet that I have. If you wish to come back to it, I can present it. So I can hit, make sure that I provide the correct information. But I do have them here. If you would like to take a look at them. May I approach?
Sure.
Scoring sheets.
You too?
Judge, if I may, for the record, we did have GrantWorks, we had Border Affairs LLC, and we had Ricardo Gomez and Associates. These are the 3 that.
Those were the 3, that's what I was looking for from you.
Yes, sir. I apologize, I thought we had put them in the binder that I presented.
No, they're fine, they're here on the scoring.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's quite a lot of information I have to bring with me. And then we also have the resolution that Ms. Cassie has already passed on.
So move to approve, Judge?
Motion by Commissioner Paz. In a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Guerra. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 14. Discuss and approve 3-year subscription of HyperReach Sam Usher Computing Services Inc. for the amount of $5,800. Action required.
Judge, may I approach the bench
Sure.
to have the recommended motions? Judge, Commissioners, this is the year 3 of that 3rd-year subscription with Sam Usher, which is HyperReach mass notification system. This year, HyperReach or Sam Usher has set up a different payment system, and that's why I thought it was important to bring it up, because if you recall, and I have the records here, that this is renewed during the month of February. However, they do have a whole new, it's an electronic payment system, and it is a recommendation of my office, as I've been working closely with the court or under your administration, Judge, with GOMISA funding. It is my recommendation that, if possible, I know Ms. Carmen's not here right now, but that could be funded through another fund other than GOMISA. And that is solely because of the guidelines. I think that it's becoming a more stringent fund on the oversight. I have looked at opportunities to go, for training, even if it's just online training. As you know, the GOMISA funding has been utilized in the most recent years for all the coastal projects. But again, it is the decision of the court. But the past, this is like the 3rd year of year 3, right, of 3rd-year subscription. In the past, it already funded it. Right? And it is an affordable cost in comparison to others.
Just, I think the only issue right now would be, if you're recommending that it be funded by another line item, we'd have to ask Carmen which item, and Judge, where would it come from?
Yeah, I think that the correct me if I'm wrong, Jessica, but I think what we have considered is that currently it's funded from the GOMISA, right?
It is, yes, it has been funded by GOMISA.
Okay, and so as we move into this, the potential of what to utilize it for has grown in terms of the potential. I'm not saying that's what we're doing, but that's the potential of the program, right? By using GOMISA, it somewhat limits it, right? There's certain things we cannot do. For example, and not that we're doing it, and not that we're gonna do it, but I'll just hypothetical. There's gonna be a parade, right? So do we want to put it in here? Well, if the answer to that in consensus is yes, and then we're limited with funding it from this source to be able to do that. On the other hand, if we were to fund it, like for instance, the revenues coming in from other sources, right? Detention center or other, then we don't have a limitation as to what we can use it for. So what I'm bringing up, Commissioner, back to your question, or to your comment, is that that's potentially where we would be considering it. But you're correct. It's coming up in February, correct?
It is, but they do have a new, like I mentioned, an electronic billing system that I have not contacted them as of yet, because I wanted to make sure if where that fund was going to come from was going to come from your administration, then definitely I would want to get with your front office. But just keeping in mind that GOMISA funding, one of the uses and why it qualified because it was for hurricane protection, but it really emphasizes on, the coastline. And again, Judge, you did meet with other community leaders and stakeholders where the county was willing to collaborate with to make the best use of this emergency notification system. And one of them is that you can utilize it, even the commissioners can utilize it. For example, if there's road closures, etc. And that is where you and I had that discussion. And it is for that reason that I would like the court to, even if we have to entertain it in another meeting, as far as the funding source. But it's not my
We have to fill in the
recommendation.
blank here. You want to?
Yes, and that would be the fund, a fund that, I know that Judge and I didn't have the opportunity to speak yesterday, but, that is why if you wanna table it for the next meeting.
We can bring it back, but yeah, potentially that's where it would be coming from, the capital fund.
So, so it initially was funded it's a 3-year program funded, and 2 years have been paid by the homies.
Yes, yes, and this is the 3rd year.
And it
And
was-
remember, if you wanna disengage from this contract, you would have to do it 30 days prior, which is what happened last time.
Right.
It has to be 30 days prior to the end of the contract.
Well, we can, I think we do need to table so we can discuss it. I think if we've been doing it for 3 years like that, we need to continue one more year or discuss disengaging. Because, I mean, I'm just as much, an issue here, at fault, I should say, that we've been sitting on this thing for almost 2 years and not done anything. So we need to, figure out.
Or very little.
Yeah. And it's useful to me to push out information about potential weather events, threats, flooding, stuff like that.
Water
outages, stuff like that that's gonna affect people.
Yes,
Like
sir.
not for parades. Oh, I'm
Right,
sorry.
and I think that's
gave you a
what's-
very hypothetical.
I know.
Because I wanted to kind of bring your mind to how far this thing can go, right?
Yeah, because you had
I
a
didn't
local
mean it in
city.
a way
No,
that-
but you had
No,
a
I
local
know.
city in the meeting
Yeah,
actually bring
the
that
city
up.
brought it up, yeah, actually. That's what I'm saying, is that this thing has,
I think where other cities, and not to ponder more on this item, but on other cities, when we had the freeze, across the nation, they utilize it as a tool to actually communicate even with their employees. So it is a system. The only thing that's been happening here, as you mentioned, is that who's managing it. You need to identify who would be the managing this program.
We need to, I guess, have a sit down, maybe a workshop on this. And finally, put it to use, put it to bed, get it going.
What I did provide Commissioner, just on that note, was, I provided, a list that Mr. Cavazos, was able to provide me, usually with us today, an electronic, like an Excel, and I provided it to the HyperReach contact. And currently, that I'm aware of, that's all the information we have.
The other thing that has come into play as years pass is obviously social media, right? Where you have the so-called more official type of, give you an example, the sheriff. I'm not too much into the Facebooks and stuff, but the sheriff has a program or something in place where he gives information out to the public as to what's happening with accidents and things like that. So this might be something that would be, let's say, obsolete in the future. I don't know. But I know that prior, I know that prior, especially when we used to, when there was a hurricane coming, both the city, Rainville, the county, and others, kind of looked into what would it take to get something like this, and back then we couldn't afford it. It was like 27,000 and so forth, that I can recollect back then. And then when this came up with 5,000, it was like, what? Man, this is something we can afford. Now we have it. It's like there's a difference of opinion as to what to utilize it for. But it mainly started with hurricanes.
It was a recommendation of also our emergency management coordinator.
Right.
I think that most importantly, the challenge has been, commissioners, registering our citizens, right? Because they have to select if it's a landline, and if it's gonna be in mobile services. We've even worked with the LRGDC. So it is something that, it would benefit the court to further discuss. But I had placed it on the agenda in hopes that we could identify an account prior to this meeting.
Yeah, no, and it's good you brought it up. It brings it back up to the forefront.
Okay.
Believe me, we had, thank God, this last one didn't hit us. Believe me, this would have been something that would be in conversations every day.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, Judge, going back to that, the situation was where are we gonna, how are we gonna collect this information? Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Do we get a QR code? And we can do a combination of that, but let me tell you that, here recently, I got involved with the food bank, and we had about 150 people come by, and I think it would be pretty easy to, not easy, but that'd be a good way to register some people, maybe with a little QR code thing, or a phone number or something to get them registered.
And that's where we're at, is identifying who is going to manage that system. My office, I was tasked to just simply with process payment is coming out of the leases, not coming out of the judge's administration.
But what I was getting at is to get the information, so just to let everybody know, the food banks, they have drives in La Salle, San Bernardino, Lyford, and Raymondville. It's gonna cover a lot of people. So I'm gonna try to task myself, at least in Sebastian, to start figuring out how to get that, start capturing that information. It's just one, so you can go to a football game, get even more people involved.
Yeah,
I think
there's a lot of ideas.
we've all heard that text in the middle of the night, when it comes off, it might be something else that really gets your attention. And Facebook is great, but if you're in an area that doesn't have any cell phone, not cell phone, but internet, you're not gonna get that. Your phone can't. The text seems to go through, and things are pretty limited. That's it.
So Jeff, put it on the next meeting, so we'll make a motion to table.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if I may, during COVID, we actually used the QR code, as you were pointing out, to capture that data, to send out information that needed to be, sent out to the public.
Yeah, and that was provided to them in the prior last year, but that was the only way that we were able to utilize the system at the time,
Yeah.
was for the COVID-19. But here to date, the only update that I have for the court is that I provided, with the assistance of Mr. Cavazos, an Excel sheet of only the mobile phones that we have for staff in the field. And yes, Commissioner, I will definitely meet with Judge and also our county auditor and then explore more ideas. If there is another fund, that way I can present it to you the next meeting.
I'm a second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Line item number 15, discuss an action to approve standards of conduct and conflict of interest policy with the Willacy County American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, SLFRF, action required.
Yes, sir. This is another item regarding the ARPA, Lewis County ARPA program. So in order to be in compliance with the United States Treasury, the guidelines, our current policies are not suffice. Mrs. Hinojosa and I did have opportunity, she visited my office yesterday afternoon. So what our office has done, Ms. Francis has been really helpful, is filling out along with our PM, our project manager, Ms. Alice Mendes. But however, it is important that it goes through our legal review. Mrs. Hinojosa did visit with me and just wanted to make sure that we were in collaboration with Frank Works, which is our program manager and administrator. But this needs to be in place. It's something that needs to be in place so that we can be in compliance for auditing purposes. So that's why on the recommended motions, I added addendum. And I did ask for Ms. Hinojosa, she said that was okay.
Yeah, I had a conversation with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is something that's very important in order to be in compliance with our American Rescue Plan Act funds.
And by the way, Commissioner, just so you know, for the record, Ms. Hinojosa has a trial going on in Bronxville. She
Yes.
said if something comes up, by all means call me. But that's the reason she sent me. She came early and met with me in some of these items.
And this goes back, like what Commissioner Garcia referred to earlier, it's very important that we abide by the procurement guidelines.
Right.
And as you know, ARPA is a little bit more stringent than other funding sources. So that's why I just wanted to mention why this is so necessary that we
Sure.
present it to you this morning.
Judge, make a motion to approve standard of conduct and conflict of interest policy addendum for the Willacy County American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds, SLFRF.
I have a motion by Commissioner LaPaz,
Second.
second by Commissioner
I
Garcia.
do have a couple of just to
Yes,
get
sir.
in my mind here. So this is gonna be attached into county policy as an addendum, is that correct?
That would be up to the court if you ever decide to update
Because I
your
mean, it's
policy.
gotta sit somewhere in
Yes.
policy, it's gotta be
Yes,
attached.
yes, sir. It is my, and again, Mrs. Ewell is not here, she can speak on this, and I can, but more
That's
qualified than I am. But when it comes to the policy, this is for the American Rescue Plan Act funding for Willacy County. That's why I added in there addendum. Because the policy that we currently have in place, does not qualify in the guidelines.
So we have already dispensed a lot of ARPA funding already, we've already,
Yes, we have.
okay.
And that is
It's
a question.
retroactive.
Yes, sir, and that is a question that I did also submit to our program manager. The concern would be that during auditing, is this something that we already have to, again, further discuss? Because the purchases have already been made, we're almost have exhausted all our funds. So, I can definitely provide that to you, the update in the workshop that we hope to have before the end of the month for our fund.
That was the thing. I was
It's a
looking
good
at-
question, one that I also brought up.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I have a motion and a second.
Yes, sir.
Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Line item number 16, discussion act to approve financial management policy and procedure for the Willacy County American Rescue Plan Act. Our coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, SLFRF, is required.
Yes, sir. This is also, another required addendum to the policy for the American Rescue Plan Act funds, which is what you have before you. And Mrs. Hinojosa, as you mentioned, has already reviewed this, and they did provide a template. And, the only question that I have, and I need your guidance, is who will be the point of contact for these two policy addendums? That is the only information that's currently pending for us to complete those templates. And also, I wanted to also make sure that Mrs. Hinojosa, if she a final review, right? But she's already reviewed the language, and but it is important that we also note this, that who will report, who would you want for us to include in there as the point of contact for these two policies?
Myself and the auditor.
There's only one person that, as
Oh,
far
you
as.
mean as far as to be?
Yes, in the document itself. Would
Uh,
that want you?
well, I think it would be the auditor. She's more into compliance.
This is all about
I mean,
financial
you can put as you want, but I'm just.
Yeah, but we have, the two documents. We have the one that's applicable to purchasing and procurement, and then we have this one that's applicable, they're both financial. So. You're correct. Okay, so then you want me to add Ms. Maria del Carmen Maldonado? I know she's not here today, but I would also, want to notify her in case she has any questions or concerns. I can refer her to you, sir.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Lopez. I'm here in this department, but she's gonna try to be here by line item 18. She's just working on budget. But I'm taking notes on her behalf, so I'll make sure to let her know.
All right, thank you, Rebecca.
Make a motion to approve the financial management policy and procedures addendum for the Willacy County American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds, SLFRF.
I have a motion by Commissioner Paz, can you entertain a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garcia, no discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign, motion carries. Line item number 17, approval of travel,
Yes, there's more of them.
alright,
A request for Willacy County Sheriff's Investigator Joe Castaneda to attend the IT 2024 Annual Conference in Galveston, Texas on October 28th through November 1st, 2024. A request for Willacy County Building Inspector Robert Salinas to attend a continuing education conference for county officials in Laredo, Texas on December 5th and 6th, 2024. A request for Willacy County Clerk Susan R. Garza and Chief Deputy Clerk Elizabeth Rio to attend the Region 8 Fall Conference in Kingsville, Texas on October 2nd through the 4th, 2024. Have a request for 197 District Court Administrator Ron Caballero and 197 District Court Coordinator Rebecca Chapa to attend the Court Education Conference KCA Houston, Texas on October 28th through November 1st, 2024.
Judge on number 2, Robert, I invited him, mine should be there too. I'm gonna, for that conference in Laredo. Yes, I might have to, we're ready, that one, on Robert's, I'm gonna pay his travel and his room. I invited him to go with me to Laredo, the conference. So huh?
I'm actually, I'll be attending that.
Bueno, pues, neither.
I haven't gotten to it, but
But, yeah, no, Cindy was supposed to submit it, but she didn't submit it.
Oh, you can put it, Dodo. Right now.
Okay.
You got that list? So Commissioner Guerra, Commissioner De La Paz,
And,
and Garcia.
yes.
Robert. Josequito de Robert.
Robert's,
The inspector, the one here, none of them were there in the, I'm already registered, I'm already,
Yeah.
this is the one that Agri-Land?
yes. Who? Marty? Well, go ahead and add him if you don't go, cause you know. That's okay, yeah.
these CEUs for us carry over to the next one.
Yeah,
That's
it
good.
was, yeah.
Close.
And Commissioner, just so you know, since we're in this topic, is, as you know, we budget overall 68,000, including all departments. And, I wish the auditor was here, but we're keeping an eye on it, especially towards the end of the budget year, right, which is
Yeah.
this week. And I think we made it.
Oh, good.
We made it within budget. If you recollect, when we used to have, every department used to have their own budget. I wanna say, shooting off my head, we would spend over 150,000. And that was years ago. So I think that, we're two objectives here. One is to control cost, but the other, and more important, is to make sure that employees, department heads get the continuous education that's required. But leaving that aside, is that they keep abreast or on top of changes, which seem to be almost every day nowadays, to just keep on top of it. But, I just wanted to bring that up as we approve these. Obviously, these are for next year's budget already.
Kathy, Robert, this one come on my. Yeah, this conference is one of the best ones you can have, cause it's a real small conference. And, the guest speakers will like, help, get a lot of good information. I've gone and I haven't gone since 2019, right?
For Robert?
Yeah, but we're gonna go, we included you wanna go? We included your name as well. We go out there.
Volunteer.
We're all good.
That's if you wanna go.
So we approve, Judge?
Second, I have a motion by Commissioner De La Paz, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Line item number 18, approval of budget amendments.
You have to come back.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here.
Yes, good morning. Let me just sign them off.
I didn't see you.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you.
Coming this way.
Oh, he got one right there. Okay. So good morning, Commissioners Court. There's 23 budget amendments. This is the last one for the fiscal year. So basically, we're just moving funding from within the department. There are a couple that we did have to touch contingency, Judge, and I know I didn't have a chance to sit with you, but it was in reference to those departments. For example, the district clerk, where her software vendor changed, and so there was no, it wasn't budgeted throughout the year, so that caused an increase for her of like 5,000, about 5,000 and change. It's on the budget amendment, I can read it. But that was one of the departments that needed to have funding. The other department is the sheriff and jail. I don't know if you recall that there was 2 vehicles that were crashed, and we did, or Ruben did file for the insurance claim revenue.
Yes.
Right, we did get, I have the money here. We got about 17,000. I don't recall the exact number, but I have it here. So about 17,000 in insurance costs, and we do have to report it as an insurance claim revenue line item. So that caused for the departments to fix the vehicles. However, to fix the vehicles was a little bit more. So in their departments, it caused an over budget because of those costs that we did get reimbursed back. So what I did is I just moved the insurance claim amount total to their departments. It's not going to carry on to next fiscal year because we already adopted the budget. We already set the new balances. This is just so that they won't have as much an over budget if within their departments. Because in essence, the sheriff department and the jail are under the general fund, but we cannot just allocate that single revenue line item to them, particularly in their department on the expense side. So it is recorded as a general fund revenue, but then the expense will wash off. So I just moved money within their department to not show a greater over budget, and we can see the true cost of what they spent within those departments. Also, let me see. So that was pretty much the major changes. Everything else, it's 17,000. Let me see. Yeah, it was about 17,000 and change. So there's just the other departments were just needing funding because they needed to cover their costs and they had the money within their budgets. That's why you'll see if you go through the pages, you'll see a zero department total under the proposed amendment column. Other than that, the only 2 that touched contingency was those 2 departments, I believe. And maintenance can use funding from like the health and welfare, so that one shows a positive $1,735, but it's taken care of within the health and welfare department. There was one of the constables that we discussed, Judge, but I was able to find funding in his department through one of those fixed line items, which again, we don't do this throughout the year because it's the end of the year and that amount has to stay within that line. And this year he didn't have any more bonds to pay for. Okay. I touched that line item to be able to help them.
Get it through.
Right, exactly.
Right. Very good.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Unless y'all have questions, I can explain. That's basically the major changes. Oh, and the tax office, I apologize. The tax office, but she had already brought it up for the new fiscal year, but also for this fiscal year, she had about $13,355. which she says it's not, it's something that's unknown to her. Some years she can target what she is supposed to pay for her tax allocation, for her what she pays in tax allocation to the appraisal district, and sometimes she doesn't. So this year she was over 13,000, and that's something that if the court approves it, I did touch contingency to fund it because she doesn't have funding within her, and she doesn't have control over that, and she doesn't have. It wouldn't have been enough if I pieced every little line item within her budget. So I just took the full amount from there.
Which is 13, around
Yes,
13.
it is $13,355.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Make a motion to approve, budget amendment?
Second.
Motion to approve as amendments was submitted and second by Commissioner. Motion by Commissioner Lopez, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Line item number 19. Executive session. A, confer with Commissioners Court Legal Counsel regarding pending contemplated litigation and negotiations with Orange County's employer's interest pursuant to VTCA Government Code Section 551.071A2 and deliberation regarding pending contemplated litigation and negotiations with Orange County its employer and interest pursuant to VTCA Government Code 551.071A2. Commissioners, as we mentioned earlier, Ms. Ramos is not here. We did discuss this morning. She said that she had time to report that she would have something next meeting we have.
I reached out to her too. I had something to consider, but since she's not here and busy,
Well, maybe that's it.
okay, we'll pick it up again.
All right.
Next time.
All right. So with that, can I entertain a motion to just take no action or pass?
No move, no, taking no action.
Okay, I have a motion. Commissioner Reagan, and second by Commissioner Garcia, and I take it, Commissioner, that's on both line item 19 and 20?
Yes.
Both, got that, did you?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion in a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Not opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item 21, Mr. Salinas, I know you had submitted a public comments. I don't wanna have to come back because I don't wanna open that door. However, I don't wanna also turn my back on you. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna adjourn, but I'll be glad to meet with you to any input that you have.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So with that, can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
We have two motions and a second.
Same.
Take your pick. No, I have a motion by Commissioner Garcia, second by Commissioner. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign.